What's going on, everybody? This is Moss Money here for Fast Money Talk. And what are we talking about today? Is this late breaking news? I don't know. Maybe not for me so much. We are talking Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. And just to be honest, trash is what we're seeing right now from the Philadelphia Eagles. No flow to this offense, no identity. Hurts is off. I mean, I guess AJ's kind of getting his at this point. I know all the AJ fans happy. Thank you for pointing all this out, AJ. But I want to talk about one thing, and that's the man who cashes the biggest check every week, and that's Jalen Hurts. I said this on this show. I said it multiple times that Jalen is the problem. And now, glaringly, everybody's talking how Jalen Hurts is the problem. Now, is it all Jalen Hurts? Can we talk about the OC? Can we talk about the play calling? Can we talk about the offensive line? Can we talk about all these outside factors that go into this game of NFL and the Philadelphia Eagles? Absolutely, we can talk about that. But we're not zoning in on that. We're not honing in on that. This is for my Jalen Hurts fans. This is for my Eagles fans. We need to talk about the common denominator. And as much as we can raise him to be Superman, we need to take a step back and understand that Superman lost his cape. Batman don't know how to use his utility belt. Wolverine done lost his claws, right? This is what we're seeing in live. I've been talking about it for weeks. I think Emmanuel Acho did a great job of breaking down the film. Let me take that back because I'm not the huge Acho fan, but he points out what are we looking at? What are we seeing? And I want to show you guys this right now because this is the problem that I have, and people are not getting it. I'm a Jalen Hurts supporter. I've always said this. I am not the biggest Jalen Hurts fan. I'm not. I'm just not. But I give respect where respect's due. I give respect where it should be given. And what I'm seeing here is a guy who's possibly lost his confidence, who doesn't trust his reads, doesn't trust his O line, doesn't trust his OC, and doing things that are out of character. So let's look at this one play here. I'm not sure where it is. We're not going to get into sound. But if you look at the play calling, right? Let's play it a little bit.
But Zach,
Right there. Let's stop right there. Ball's already in the air. So let's rewind just a little bit. All right, let's stop right there. Okay. So we got Cooper in the upper left. Then in the middle, we got Devontae Smith. And then on the right, we got A.J. Brown. Now, for me, at least, and I played football. I didn't play quarterback, obviously, but I played football. But this is what my eyes are telling me. Smitty is open right now. Now, his head hasn't turned yet, right? And now it's right there, right? We got a nice pocket, right? We got a nice pocket. We got our check down to Saquon Barkley down here, coming out the backfield, right? So there's a couple things. You can lead Saquon, right? Get you 5-10 yards. Maybe he makes that guy miss, and maybe we're good. But if you put the ball here, right? This safety is not going to, if you drive the ball, not lofted, if you drive the ball to the other almost hash line or other 40-yard line, leading Smith over, to me, that is a completion of what we're saying, 20 yards, 25 yards, right? So you see his arms already open. So he's throwing to AJ. Now, if he hits AJ right at the kind of mid hash right here, I think this is a completion. But the ball sails, right? See how he throws it right now? The ball sails on him. And AJ's got to make a business decision right here, right? Because he knows he's going to get hit. He's going across the middle. But if you stop right here, Look at Smitty. Look at Saquon. So when people tell me scheme, people tell me play calling, granted, say this was 3rd and 1 and we're in shotgun running this play. Psychologically, from a football philosophy standpoint, I get it. Why are we not just lining up and running the ball? Makes perfect sense. Let's not overly complicate things. But this play is open with open receivers. Not one, but two. The common denominator here, the quarterback. The quarterback is making the run. This is not Kevin Patula. This is not Nick Sirianni. This is not the offensive line. This is Jalen Hurts. All right, let's go to another one. And the point of this spew, the point of this whole thing is to not run down Jalen Hurts. It's not to say Jalen Hurts sucks. He is the defending Super Bowl champion and defending Super Bowl MVP. Until that changes, that is the title right now. But what this is doing is shining a light that's now really bright that I shined 8 to 9 games ago. This is shining a light of what I feel, in my personal opinion, is a top tier problem at this moment. I think people are seeing that now because I think there was something that came out. If he would have spiked the ball every play, he would have a higher QB rating than he would than the game that he played. Worst game of his career by far. And guess what? All the greats this happens to. The Tom Brady's, the Montanas, the Ben Roethlisbergers, even now the Patrick Mahomes. These guys have these type of games over their career. This happens. There are stretches of bad games where this happens. My thing is that this is nothing new, right? For this year at least. This is nothing new. Our quarterback's strongest suit is not his arm. It's his mind and his legs. Those are the top tier things. So let's keep going.
And you have to see.
So let's
play perception, turn from. Start with maybe the worst play of his career. Start with maybe the
good scheme. Well, not good scheme, but understanding that you have a struggling quarterback coming in from a defensive scheme. If you guys didn't check out the game, the Chargers are the fourth team that blitzes the least. I think they only blitz 20% of the time or something like that, and they're like fourth. They're low. They don't blitz, but they were blitzing the shit out of Hurts. Why? To speed up his mental clock, to make him have to think fast, not give him time to think. Because if you do, he can beat you. But in those moments where he's got to make a couple decisions or two decisions really fast, it seems like that's what he's really struggling with. And this is where you see that. So you see a blitz coming, right? 5 wide again in shotgun. So right here, what we're seeing here is this is where the zone blitz came from. And the defensive lineman catches and picks his ball off because we're going to A.J. Brown. But if you look where Acho was saying here, to the right bottom side, the slot, the second from the outside is Dotson, right? Right here. This is Dotson. Does a double move, right? And he's open for a touchdown, right? He's open right here. We have a nice pocket. We can even fade to our left here a little bit if he wants to, because the right defensive end is crashed, right? So he could even run here if he wanted to. But look at the middle of the field with Dotson running. Touchdown. All right. Again, this is not offensive scheme. This is not Kevin Patula. This is not Nick Sirianni. It's Jalen Hurts. All right, let's go. Let's keep going here. Yeah, prize pool, whatever. All right. So on this one, they had a two-man shell, right? You see the two high safeties here, right? Man to man. Clean pocket, right? So in man to man, if you see this, this is recognition. You either got to have somebody win or you go to your check down. They spy Hurts right here, right? So there's your spy. Everybody's covered up. Why are we not going to Saquon Barkley in the flat? Check down. These are basic concepts, right? That we should be doing. Like, give it to Saquon right there, right? Because he's just throwing the ball here. Give it to Saquon right here, right? And let Saquon do his thing. If he makes a guy miss, then you got a big gain. If the guy makes a great open field tackle against Saquon Barkley, great. But you got to trust this matchup. Put him on his hands right now. All right, let's keep going. Now this was a good play by the corner, right? Again, two safety high. Everybody's pretty much covered. You got a guy coming free a little bit here, right? You got maybe AJ coming across the middle here, but he could take a shot, right? Safety could probably drive on the ball, but that's not put it low, right? But he goes out here to Smitty on a dig route, a big dig route, and look at where Acho's pointing. Like the corner's already digging on this route, right? This actually probably should have been a pick six. But when you look at it, he throws, boom. He steps in front of the route before, he even throws it. So, that was a good play. But, again, we got to be better. Got to be better. Got to be better. All right, let's keep going. As we see, all shotgun calls. And the only thing I could think of is that Hurts sees the field better in shotgun, right? Because of the internal clock. Because if he goes to play action pass, he has to go through his passing, his RPO read. Like even when you think about RPO, he's never like his head is never away from the field. With play action, like you kind of have to do the act of doing the play action and then look up. From an RPO, you're reading right away. Shotgun, you're reading right away. So that could be something to think about here when we're talking about his read progressions. But look, man, this is that same play. So, that was just a breakdown of that play. All right, let's keep going. What else out y'all got for me? All right, here we go. Let's see what this play is. Okay, this is the end of the game, right? This is the end of the game when he throws the Dachshund overtime. All right, let's see where he's at. All right, so our little RPO action here, right? Freeze up. Like hit him, bro. Hit Goddard right here. You're fading back, right? With a defender in your face. You're trying to drop it in between two defenders to the corner. This guy peels off. Like, throw it to Goddard or just throw it away. Because if they're sitting in the zone right now. Let me see. Well, he already threw the ball. Are they sitting in the zone? Yeah, the ball's already in the air. And the corner makes a good read because the corner is playing both the out. So it's almost like a flood, RPA flood, where there's two options to that side. But it's just like, and then the O lineman makes a bad call. Like, why is the right tackle going down to the guard? Oh, okay, because it's an RPO. You're gonna let that guy make a read, right? So he makes a read. This is actually kind of defended well now that I look at it. Because if you throw the ball right here, you set up your tight end to get smoked, right? Um, I don't know what down this was, right? But you throw it there. That's a bang bang call. I don't have a problem with that one. Guy got back, made a good call. Maybe throw. I mean, you're outside of the pocket, right? So maybe just throw it away here because there's nothing there. And Goddard could get hit, right here. Because like if you throw it right, if you throw it right there, right, that guy's gonna pop Goddard for a big hit, right? And maybe Goddard sees him, but you don't want to, that you could get him hurt like that, right? So I don't have a problem with not throwing the Goddard now that I'm looking at it, but I don't know if Dotson's the right call call unless you drive the ball, to the back, almost to the back of the end zone. And it was just you just couldn't make that throw. You couldn't make that throw. That's a tough throw to make. Yeah, I don't know if throwing the Goddard here is the smart move. Like, see, he's what is he? He's 2 yards from him. You know what I'm saying? He's driving on that ball because he's sitting. He's sitting right there. Maybe. I mean, Goddard's got his head turned around. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That one's tough. That one's a tough call. Again, another shotgun. Boom, like you see it right here. Right here. Throw it here, bro. Just throw it. Take the open. Like, what are you seeing? This is what I'm not getting. Clean pocket. Like, look, he's still open. Jesus Christ. But we're saying scheme, play calling. It's AJ. Like, all right, man, I'm done, man. I can't see this. I can't watch this shit no more, man. I can't watch it no more. I'm just saying, man. It is really telling. It's really telling what the issue is. And I said this before. I haven't said this part, but I'll say this before. Again, Jalen Hurts cashes the biggest check on this team. I don't care if it's 4th and 1, 4th and inches, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, 3rd and on the half-inch line. If Kevin Batula calls a play and you're in shotgun and you're 5 wide, you need to execute. You need to execute the play that's called. And what's happening right now is we're not executing the play it's called. You can call it scheme. You can call it the OC. You can call it Nick. You can call he's had a new OC for the last 7 years. You can call it the offensive line. I don't care what you call it. I just know in every single excuse or reality, the common denominator is the quarterback. And I'm telling you right now, you could argue offensive line is the biggest problem on the offense. But what you cannot argue anymore is Jalen Hurts is also one of the biggest problems on the offense. This is Moss Money. This is Fast Money Talk. We got to get it together. Let's go. Go Birds.